starred on Seinfeld. Now you can see her in the CBS series The New Adventures of Old Christine. Please welcome Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Wow. You look fantastic.
Thank you. Wow.
You're beautiful.
Well, how kind of you. I feel good. I just had some funky sex with Abe Lincoln back there.
He's hanging around. I've never seen Lincoln that creepy. It's that knowing gaze he gives you that's really sickening to me.
I find it kind of alluring.
Yeah. No, you don't. Thank you so much for being here. I know you flew a long way to be out here in New York City.
Yes, I did. I flew a long way, and I flew on American Airlines.
Good airline.
It's marvelous.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you something. You know, when I fly, I like to have an understanding with the person that I'm sitting next to if I don't know them, which is that we're going to pretend like the other one doesn't exist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that we
if
don't
you're
have
on
to
a long flight, sometimes you don't feel like,
talking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I got on the flight and I sat down, and the gentleman next to me goes, "Well, how do you do? I'm Keith." And I said, "Oh, yes, so hello." And I tried to be pleasant, but kind of curt, not rude, but you know what I mean?
You wanted your little boundary.
I want a boundary, but anyway, whatever. So then on American Airlines, they're now playing my show.
Right.
Yeah. So, and you know, it's kind of, I have to say, it's awkward. Because you're sitting there and people are watching, or they're not watching, but it's your show, but you're in the audience watching it with people. And I'm sitting next to this guy, and they say, "Coming up, The New Adventures of Old Christine." And he turns to me and goes, "We're going to get a lot of you right now."
You, and then up there, and then here.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So he puts his headphones on, and and he starts to watch the show. And what happens is I become sort of invested in his reaction.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want him to know that, because I don't really know him. But all of a sudden, it's very important to me how he reacts. So I'm sitting there, and I'm sort of looking at a magazine all the while, going like this to see if he's laughing. And he is. He's chuckling. But the funniest part of the show is coming up, in my opinion. This is a big moment in this particular episode. And then the flight attendants come down the aisle, and they're passing out the dinner or whatever it is. And he misses it all. He misses every... I know.
And this is key to the whole show.
I wanted Keith to really like the show. I did.
Keith means a lot to you now.
I know. It's so important to me. And so he missed it all, and I was feeling kind of bummed about that. And then and then the show ends, and he kind of leans over, and I am pretending like I'm not noticing the whole time. He leans over and he goes like that. And I went, and anyway, it was very awkward because I didn't want him to know, and now he knows because I've said it on national television.
Well, you know, I've had that experience. I flew on JetBlue, and they showed, I had just taped an episode of this show, and I went and jumped on a plane, and JetBlue has television. And someone figured out around me, and they all start turning their TVs on to this show, because it's a long flight, and I'm flying west. And they start showing the monologue, and everybody puts their headsets on, they watch the first joke, and I'm not listening. I can just see me on TV acting like an ass, and everyone listens to the first joke, and everyone on the plane literally turns around and goes, like that, right? And then I go like, "Oh, okay, good." Then they watch the second joke, and they go, and then I'm crushed. Then I'm watching everybody the whole flight like...
It's very anxious making.
Yes, I didn't like it.
I didn't care for it either.
Now, talking about being on television, I have to think this is difficult because the Seinfeld reruns are played everywhere, all the time. Brilliant show. For my money, one of the great shows of all time. But it's got to be... How does that affect your life? How do you go anywhere and not see yourself in a Seinfeld rerun?
Well, I'm sick of myself, to tell you the truth.
Right.
It's on all the time, and actually, it was on. They were rerunning the contest episode recently, which is all about masturbating and stuff.
Yeah.
And I walk into the TV room the other day, and both of my kids are watching it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got a 9-year-old and a 14-year-old.
Right, right.
So I said, everybody get out of this room now. This show is crap. Don't watch it.
No one's watching this ever again.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, you're very naturally funny. I mean,
No,
no, you
I'm
are.
not. No.
I got to hang out with you a little bit one time, and you were really. You probably don't want to talk about it here. But you called me and wanted to get a drink, and I'm like, all right. I'm married, and I hung up, and you called again. No, but you're very natural. Your humor's very natural. Is that run in the family? Or do you come from a funny family?
I do. There are a lot of funny women in my family. My grandmother and my great-grandmother. My great-grandmother used to do impressions of her teacher. Actually, they were very offensive impressions. Yeah, they were, because her teacher had epilepsy, and she thought it was funny. It wasn't funny at all. But she
had a great sense of humor.
She was hilarious. And my grandmother was very dry, and she was well, actually, she was a bit of a drinker. She wasn't so dry, but she did. I remember the story in our family is one time her sister died and her best friend died all in the same weekend. And another friend of hers called and they said, "Grace, do you want me to come and be with you?" And she goes, "You better not. They're all dropping like flies around here." So, very.
Not afraid, yeah.
Not afraid. Very ballsy lady.
Now, you were great granny. She was ballsy. You don't hear that very often. What was your great-grandmother like in that oil painting? Oh, she was ballsy.
It's true, though.
She was a ballsy old broad. You're going to take a vacation soon, aren't you?
Yes, I'm going to the Galapagos Islands.
I've never been to the Galapagos Islands.
Yes, off of Ecuador.
Wow, that'll be fun.
That will be fun, although we have to live on a boat. I've been to the Galapagos before. We live on a boat for a week, and I get very seasick, but that's how good the Galapagos is. I'm willing to go back on the boat again and get seasick for a week because the Galapagos is so awesome.
And there are animals on the Galapagos. There are species that don't exist anywhere else. They only live on that little rock.
Yeah, that one rock.
Yeah.
And you just go from island to island, and there are various species on each island, and you can, like, hunt them down and kill them.
I don't think you can.
Yeah, you can.
What a nice blue-breasted booby. The New Adventures of Old Christine, very funny show, airs Monday nights at 8:30 on CBS. And Julia will be hosting Saturday Night Live this Saturday with musical guest Snow Patrol.
Yes.
So check that out. You're busy.
Very busy.
Always a thrill talking to you. Seriously. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, thank you so much. Harlan Williams coming up. We'll take a break.